Upanishad Pramanam. Vedanta and Upanishad are synonyms. They're synonyms. They're the same thing. When we say Vedanta, we are referring to Upanishads. Upanishads are part of the Vedas. But then the same subject matter is also being taught outside the Vedas also, like the Bhagavad Gita is a text which is not in the Vedas. It was written long after the Vedas. It came about long after the Vedas. They say 5,000, 6,000 years ago. And so, but it has the same message of the Upanishads. Therefore, we call this text also a text of Vedanta. So any subject, any book that, or any text that reveals the message that is revealed by the Upanishads is called Vedanta. Okay. Now, why it is called Vedanta? That is purely, Swamiji says, it's purely because of the position of the Upanishads in the Vedas. So every Veda, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda. So the Upanishads generally come towards the end. So, Samhita Brahmanayoho. So Samhita Brahmana, these Vedas have two big portions. And then Aranyaka is there. And then Upanishads are there in Aranyaka. Or it can be in the Brahmana portion. Like this, there are some variations are there. But point is, the Vedas come towards the end. After all the Karma Kanda portion, the Upanishads are there. Not a strict rule. But that is how it is. And therefore, Vedanta refers to the portion of the Vedas which comes towards the end, called the Upanishads. Okay. Vedanta, Upanishads are identical. And any subject matter, which any book that talks about Brahma Vidya is therefore Vedanta. Atma Vidya, Vedanta. Itihasaha. Itihasa generally we refer only to this Ramayana and Mahabharata. They are called Itihasaha. And so they are historical. They are based on history. I shouldn't say they are historical. They are based on historical events. Itihasa. Thus indeed it was. That is the literal meaning of Itihasa. Thus indeed it was. And so, thus indeed it was means what? That means history. That means history. Therefore, Rama cannot be a fictional character. The question, did Rama exist? Did Krishna exist? Did the Pandavas exist? Was Dasharatha really a king who lived in India, in this kshetra? If the question is asked, the answer is what? An emphatic yes. Yes, they lived. And if they did not live, a fictional story will not be there like this for us to hear so long. Fictional stories will just vaporize. And because they lived, we have these stories. Then what about Ravana? Did he also live? And yeah, he lived in Sri Lanka. And did he also have 10 heads? No, he did not have 10 heads. Then why do you see Ramayana 10 heads? You say it is history? Well, I didn't say it is history. I said Ramayana is based on history. Based on history. It's a poem. It's a poem. So, Valmiki has the license to present characters in a way he sees. And so, there are reasons why Ravana is presented this way. A person with all kinds of conflicts. So, that is the difference, Girishji. Vedanta and Upanishads are essentially the same thing.
Okay.
And the word Vedanta can refer to more texts than Upanishads also, as long as the message of the other texts are same as the message of the Upanishads. Itihasa refers to our Ramayana and Mahabharata,
Okay.
which should not be called as myths. M-Y-T-H.
Yeah.
This M-Y-T-H is a mischief made by the West to make us to de-emphasize the importance of this text. Therefore, this word myth and mythology should be given up. We should tell our children this entire thing that the British told us is a myth. Not our Itihasa is not a mix. What the British are doing is, this is what we should teach our children. Okay,
Correct.
good question.
Correct. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, good. There are no other questions. We can. Yeah, Haim, go ahead. So, Haim, did you have a question? No, unable to hear you. Unable to hear you. Not even a little.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I was not able to raise my hand, so some problem with this being a co-host, I guess. It doesn't allow me to do that.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, so my question is, so last class, I think you had mentioned that whenever these feelings like jealousy or anger, when they arise, you should nip them in the bud. But so when you when I look at these things, usually it's possible to identify that certain thoughts that I'm having will lead to these feelings to arise in the future. But at that point, how do I nip them? Because the more I think about it, the more it intensifies. So that can't be the right way, right?
Correct. Correct. Yeah. So nip it in the bud is easier said than done. Okay. So how can one follow that advice? Nip it in the bud. Any emotion for that matter. Jealousy being one example that came up. So generally, any hatred can also consume us, and constantly thinking about stuff that we don't like, and somebody whom we don't like, etc., or anything we don't like. All these are problems, can consume us. So this is why we say Nitya Naimittika Karma is important. Daily we have to do puja. Daily we must do this karma is important. This puja, this Nitya Parayanam is so important. First thing, when we do that, we do a sankalpa. Today I am going to spend 10 minutes chanting the stotras of Devi, and only she can remove the jealousy that is there in me. Only she can remove the hatred that is there in me. I am going to chant this with the sankalpa that she take away all the hatred in my heart. Sankalpa, do with the sankalpa. Then you chant. Then you chant. And you chant again the next day. Then you chant again the next day. You will see a wonderful change in yourself. The hatred and all will go away. It will get minimized. Get minimized to a point where it no longer affects. So like this, we can do this. So if you are doing, so there is something called Ashtottara Namavali or Namavali. So some 16 names of Ishvara. Om Sumukhaya Namaha, Om Ekadantaya Namaha. You take a flower, Om Kapilaya Namaha. Take another flower. To Ganesha, Om Gajakarnakaya Namaha. You say it. You say Namaha. Ekadantaya Namaha. Vinayakaya Namaha. You can do this. You can point the flower to your heart and say, look, I'm suffering because of this and I don't want to suffer anymore. I'm going to give you the pain that is there in my heart. Namaha. You take the pain. Why? Because you can handle the pain. I don't want this pain. Do it. With the action, you do it. Ekadantaya Namaha. Om Kapilaya Namaha. Om Gajakarnakaya Namaha. Om Lambodharaya Namaha. Om Vikataya Namaha. Om Vignarajaya Namaha. Om Vinayakaya Namaha. Om Dhumaketave Namaha. Om Ganadhyakshaya Namaha. Om Phalachandraya Namaha. You do it. It will work. It will work. This is why puja and all is very important. Start doing simple pujas, and then you can make it more elaborate. But focused puja. Elaborate puja, you don't have to do. You do a focused puja. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever time you have in the day, you spend, focus your time on it. Automatically, it will work. It has to work. Just to see the magic, how it will work. So, we start with the sankalpa, be clear. Now that you have recognized, I have hatred in my heart. I have recognized I have all these problems. That itself is a big thing. Big thing. Second step, I want to be free of these things. That is another big thing. Make a sankalpa. Yes, I've made up my mind. I'm going to do whatever it takes for me to be normal. See, we all want to be normal. This is all we want to be. And I want to be normal. I want to have more compassion, and this hatred is ruining my life. That's it. You have decided. Second step is over. Third step, you do these kinds of things. Second step is a big thing. Third step, you do puja. You do prarthana. Learn some slokas if you have not, and then chant it. And it will do wonders. Okay. So I will leave it at that. Hey. Yeah.
So it's basically, if I apply the intellect to it, it seems what I'm really doing is I'm transferring the kartritvam from myself to Ishvara. In a sense, I'm doing that, right? So I'm offering all that I'm stuck with, my whatever thinking I'm stuck with. I'm just letting it all go. Essentially, yeah, that's so. So for example, right now when I try to sleep, before sleeping, I just, it's like an offering. You just give it up. This is what I have done. Let it all go. This is all Ishvara's doing. I'm not really the doer. So even this, is it like that? Is puja, puja also work like that?
Yeah. So this letting go is not easy. Letting go is not easy. And so earlier you said in the night when you go to sleep, I was taught a shloka. In the night you should say this like that. My grandmother used to tell. And karacharana kritam va kayajam karmajam va shravana nayanajam va manasam va aparadam. So whatever hurt I've caused to others by my hands and by my legs and by my body and by my mind, shravana nayanajam va, and I reacted to people and I should not have done it. And manasam va aparadam, I may have not, and I may have been jealous. I may, instead of saying something, I said something else. All these things are there. And like this one shloka is there. So you chant the shloka. Manasam va aparadam, vihitam avihitam va sarvametat kshamasva jaya jaya karunabde mahadeva shambhu. So what I am supposed to do, I didn't do. There are certain things I should have done, I should have done, I didn't do. Should not have done, I did. Sarvametat kshamasva. May you take me as something who did these things without properly thinking through. Give me the right thinking. May I not repeat these things again. That when we say the shloka and sleep and we understand the meaning of the shloka, simple shloka, magic will happen. Every day, just before closing the eyes, you say it. Say it as a group, if you sometimes we sleep 3 or 4 people in the room. In India, we do that. And then everybody says it. Amazing. Just works wonders. So, or if you're sleeping with your children, say it with the children. Beautiful. Works wonders. So, yeah. So, you do that. Kartrutvam is going to be there. But yeah, you're accepting that I was helpless. Acceptance of helplessness is an important step. Very important step. in one's maturity. Leave alone Vedanta study and all. In one's maturing also, that I was helpless and sometimes I'm helpless. I feel vulnerable. You take away this vulnerability because I don't like being vulnerable. I don't like being helpless. And I surrender to you. Beautiful. So when you do that, that attitude automatically will neutralize all these feelings of jealousy, hatred, and all. Automatic. Yeah. And it will take you out of this pattern. You constantly think this pattern, circular pattern, it just pierces through that pattern. Yeah. Good. So Vaidyanathan is, there you are. Go ahead, Vaidya.
Yes, Jaykumarji, you mentioned this Vat as another meanings of Balavan, Balavat, like that. So in this verse, it comes as Ashcharyavat, right? So Ashcharyavat is something which is Ashcharyam, right? What is the other meaning of it?
Yeah, the other meaning is, the meaning is what we already studied before. That is the other, which is the one who possesses. So Balavat means one who possesses Bala. Gunavat means one who possesses Guna.
Right.
So that becomes Gunavan, Gunavati, etc. when you decline it in those genders. Okay, that is the meaning. So here Ascharyavat, that Ascharya should be taken as Atma. One who possesses, that word Ascharya, you interpret that as Atma. Atma is Ascharya. So one who possesses the knowledge of Atma, that is the way to read that. That is the way Shankara explains it. And because this Vat has several meanings. There's one more meaning for Vat also. So that is why, one has to be careful. And
so what is who possesses the knowledge of Atma is a source of wonder. Or is Atma itself a source of wonder?
Ascharyavat, Ascharyavat. The one who knows the Atma is like a wonder. Ascharyavat. Ascharyavat, Ascharya. Ascharyavan, Ascharyavat asti. Ascharyavan, Atmavan, Atmavit, one who knows the Atma, is like a wonder. Ascharyavat asti. Correct? Okay. So, so several people are there here. So go ahead, Bhagya.
Can't unmute myself. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I was just going to ask, I think in the two usages of Vat, I think one of them is a Pratipadikam, the other one is a word, right? Balavat is a Pratipadikam and Ascharyavat is actually a word, right?
Correct. Ascharyavat is a word by itself. Correct. And which will not decline. So it has to be an Abhyayam. Good observation. Yeah. Anil Kumar. We're not able to hear you. Yeah. What happened?
Yeah. So in this 29th sloka, there are two words. Like one is the Tatha and one is the Veda. So how exactly they fit in into the sloka?
So Tatha is there.
Ascharyavat pashyati kaschit enam ascharyavat vadati tatha eva cha anya.
Yeah.
So like typically tatha comes with yatha, right? Yatha tatha. So,
yeah, here there's no yatha. Here yatha, you have to add yatha in the front. Within brackets, you can add yatha.
okay. So
Yatha,
how would it mean? Like when you add tatha, like what would it mean then finally?
Tatha, likewise, just as a person sees Atma as a wonder, so also a person talks about Atma as a wonder.
Oh, okay.
That's all it means.
Different parts. Okay.
Correct, correct.
And the Veda word, what does it mean here? The second.
Veda. So Veda here it's really Tvam Veda. It really refers to Tvam because that is a second person singular. So here Shankara converts it into third person singular. Janati. It's second person singular. So Vedati. Veti. Converts it into Veti. Janati means that person. Anyaha. Kaschit. Kaschit is somebody, third person. Not Tvam, not second person or not first person. So here Krishna uses the second person to mean third person. Okay?
Okay.
Good.
So Veda is basically to understand.
Yeah, knows. No, the knows. It's a verb. Kaschit Veda. Kaschit Veti. Kaschit Veti. Somebody knows. One knows Atma or Veda na chaiva. One, having heard, one does not know the Atma. That is how it works. Yeah. Satish ji and Sudha ji. Yeah, we're not able to hear you, Satish ji. All right, Mohan Sai Krishna.
Guruji, one question was, Vedanta is like end of Vedas because of the position, and Upanishads are nothing but Vedanta. But they also say Bhagavad Gita is also an Upanishad. Because I've seen now in the Gita press and everywhere they say Upanishad too. So is that it just evolved? The Bhagavad Gita became an Upanishad by its inherent because Lord Krishna himself said that. How is that it's known as Upanishad now?
Yeah, so the observation is this. At the end of the shloka, so we saw that iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. First chapter was what? Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nama Prathamodhyaya. Right? We saw that when we completed the first chapter. So the question is there is a word Upanishad. Upanishadsu, actually it is the word. So that doesn't mean the Bhagavad Gita is referred to as an Upanishad, but the Bhagavad Gita is referred to as a Grantha which contains the same message as the Upanishad. Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastra. Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra are the topics of Upanishads, and therefore this Bhagavad Gita is considered as good as an Upanishad. That's the two topics. But generally we don't, even though one shloka says Bhagavad Gita Panchamo Vedaha. Panchamo Vedaha. So that only highlights the importance of Bhagavad Gita for us. And like this, all the other granthas that are written, so whether it is Dakshinamurti Stotram or Asadhana Panchakam and Upadesha Sahasri, all these texts are there, so many. Viveka Chudamani, Atma Bodha, all these texts are all Vedanta texts, but they are not Upanishad. And then, so they are all Smriti. We use another word, Smriti. Shruti, Smriti, Purana. That Shruti refers to Upanishad. Smriti refers to everything that is not an Upanishad. Like Bhagavad Gita and other texts written. Yeah? Okay. So somebody else was there. Ami.
Hello.
Yeah.
So my question is like a follow-up to the previous question and the very first question.
One second. Yeah.
What is the difference between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad Puran?
Yeah. What is the difference between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavata Purana? So this Itihasa. We saw Itihasa one just now. Itihasa refers to Ramayana and Mahabharata. And it so happens that the Mahabharata, in the Mahabharata, this particular context came about and Krishna taught Arjuna. And so that Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata, which we are studying now. And that has the message of the Upanishads. Okay. Now, Purana is a separate series of separate volume of text written by Vedavyasa. Mahabharata also written by Vedavyasa. Puranas are separate. There are 18 Puranas. And like Harishchandra Purana, like Markandeya Purana. And then there is something called, and then Vishnu Purana. You know, in TV you see Vishnu Purana. So Vishnu Purana is there. And then this Bhagavata Purana is another one of those 18 Puranas, which happens to be very popular. Very popular. Krishna is the main character there. And many other stories are also there. And it's very popular. And therefore, we hear more and more about Bhagavata Purana. And of course, all the other stories are beautiful. Vishnu Purana is very good. Harishchandra Purana, Markandeya Purana, what to talk about? They're all great in their own right. So, Bhagavata Purana is a Purana. Now, what is the meaning of Purana? You already said Purana means that Pura eva Navaha. It is ancient yet fresh. That is the meaning of the word Purana. And so the message it contains is still very appealing to us, very, very relevant to all of us. And these are not Vedanta texts. Puranas are so Purana is a separate text. It is not a Vedantic text. It is not Shruti. It is Smriti because it is outside the Vedas. And it is meant to highlight values, highlight the glories of Ishvara. Glories of Ishvara. So, Ishvara means what? And so, through all these avatars and through all these stories of Harishchandra and Markandeya and so forth, Shiva Purana is there. So, the glories of Shiva is there. So, that is the purpose of the Purana. And you won't find Vedanta in any Purana. Vedanta is not considered, Puranas are not considered a text of Vedanta. Okay? So you've got Itihasa, you've got Vedas, then everything else is under Shruti, under Smriti. And within that, you've got Itihasa, and then you have this Purana. And then there are other things, Vedangas and all are there. So someday when I'll explain to you all the texts of Sanatana Dharma. What are the main texts like that? I think it may be useful for you to have a good idea about that. So I will devote some time for that another time. Okay. So Bhagavata Purana, to answer your question, is one of the 18 Puranas written by Vedavyasa to show the glories of Bhagavan, Ishvara, and through which we learn a lot. We can be in awe of Ishvara's glory, and there's a lot of values also we learn from that. And also we learn that there is something called Atma that you have to study. And all avatars teach that. And so it inspires us to live a dharmic life, which will take us to learning Vedanta.
Jaykumar, the Bhagavata Purana is also called Srimad Bhagavatam, right? It's the same.
Srimad Bhagavatam, correct. So Srimad Bhagavatam is also the same as Bhagavatam. Generally, when we say it's referred to as Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad. So, same meaning that Vat becomes Mat here when it's preceded by certain vowels like Ikaraha. So there, Srimat means Srivat means what? One who possesses Shri.
Shri, Bhagwan.
One who possesses Shri. Say, one who possesses Shri means one who is always with Shri. You cannot separate Lakshmi and you cannot from Vishnu. Not possible to separate. So, Srimat. So, Vishnu being the main here, avatars of Vishnu. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, like that they say. Okay, good point. All right, so we will stop with that. Yeah, if you can mute everybody, him will chant Dhanvantri mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trilokyanathaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trilokyanathaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trilokyanathaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. So be safe and